Yeah, big welcome to you, my dear Scorpio, and of course, a very big welcome to all the other signs that felt like looking into this reading today. Today, the sun is in Aries, the Emperor, and Aries is the power to act upon a thought and to make things happen. He's cardinal, he's sitting on a throne, he's very powerful, he's the king of kings, and he's shining a light onto the moon, which is in your sign, my dear Scorpio. You're the death card, you coming riding on a beautiful white horse, which is the spirit, with the flag, where the black and the white creates a story of duality, of combining the energies that we can actually create a story. If there's only one, we know we don't have nothing to tell. The combination is that you are fixed, my dear Scorpio. You can hold a project. He begins a project and you hold it. You fixed, you part of the world card, right? You one of those four in the corners. All four fixed signs are in the corner of the world, and you are transforming things all the time. Are you capable of reinventing yourself all the time? I mean, you don't get stuck. I mean, you sometimes get fixed on things, but you don't get stuck because you have the opportunity to constantly transform yourself. The yoga cards that I use for Aries is the meditation, looking deep within, the four directions, and knowing within the four directions is the fifth element, ether, space, where we get the information of the other dimensions. Here the world, here the energy. Here we come from Pisces and we go to Taurus, which the sun is going in the next month. For you, we have, of course, one of the most difficult poses in yoga, Scorpio pose. And that liberates you, that gives you wings in front of this beautiful world. You transform it, you're coming out of the subconscious noon. I put two fish here into this deep water, and you liberate yourself. You are the phoenix rising. You have the power to challenge yourself again and again through liberation, through that transformation. And that's what putting your feet above your head does to you. You are not in your head anymore. You are in the present moment. The court card that is connected to you is the King of Cups. Birthday here is between October 13 and November 12. You sit in the middle of the ocean. You can have the deepest feelings and emotions any person can have. And here you sit. You know what you're doing with all of these deep emotions. And sometimes it's intense what you go through, but nevertheless, you know how to transform, you know how to move them, right? It doesn't matter where I put it, here or here. You transform. You know that you have the power to shift all the time. The first row is the past, the second row is the present, the third row is the future. The past, I use very old cards, and then it gets more and more modern and contemporary. So I go as far back as 1889. I used Oswald Wirth. He was part of the the Secret Order of the Golden Dawn, which created the Hermetic Tarot. in this order, or in this brotherhood, was Rider-Waite and Aleister Crowley, which I also have here. So I only picked the 22 major arcanas to get an overall look for this reading today, and the Emperor came up. So it's telling me that the influence of the Sun is strong, is pushing you to stand up or to rule, because a ruler is someone that has himself completely under control. The Sun in Emperor, the Sun in Aries, is action, is doing, is even fighting, is standing up for things that you think are important. And I feel that this is the overall theme of this reading. You are here empowered and strong. So then comes a Rider-Waite. And I got 4 cards that came out. The 2 of Wands, the 4 of Coins, the 9 of Swords, and you upside down. The 2 of Wands, Mars in Aries, the 4 of Pentacles, Capricorn, Sun in Capricorn, the 9 of Swords, Mars in Gemini, and of course you. So you planned things, you hold on to the money, you knew that stability is important, you knew that you were not spending the money, and you had quite some difficulties, nightmares that brought this type of money, or this type of holding on to money with it. Planning the world, and he seems like he looks into the past. And an Emperor that is on this level, that is letting you know, right? You have the first card, the Emperor, and he's also looking into the past. But it's not that he's looking into the past, he's showing us his left side, and that gives me the understanding that the Emperor isn't as intense as he looks here. Because have a look at his chest. He has the Sun and the Moon, and he has on his right side the Sun, and on his left side the Moon. So it tells me that he's quite connected to the 2 sides in him, and he has the eagle here, right? And the 2 sides of the Sun and the Moon, and he's showing us his left side. And looking back, I mean, this is behind you. You dreamed, or you wanted to create the world that you're holding here in your hand, and you are this Emperor that is holding on here to the money. And the nightmare that, or many nightmares that you had by these problems that these 9 of Swords bring to us when we are in a position of an Emperor. And that he is upside down. I just want to really quickly look what the upside down is really. Sometimes it's different, right? Because it's giving us an awareness. So this is in the native Indian a sign that it's not there yet. But since it's the past, I can see that you went through quite some difficulties. A difficulty of the way your mind was functioning, and that turned you upside down. Because this card I didn't shuffle to get it. This I shuffled. So this is just to show you through the Rider-Waite, because these are the most known cards, who you are as a King of Cups. And I can see that you really did, by wanting to be in the world, by using this leadership that you have and still have, but in the past you did go through some trouble. You did go quite through some emotional and spiritual turmoil. So I can see that because the way the cards came up. Then comes Aleister Crowley. Also 4 cards came up. So it's 4 to the Emperor. And of course, remember, the 4 is connected with the Emperor. And you can see as we wears the same red coat. So there is in you something that's like really saying, yes, I want to make it. And from Aleister Crowley, from the 4 cards, I just show you the first 2, comes again the 4. But this time when you look at it, it's completely a different card. And the Emperor, I mean, it's powerful. You got the Emperor twice coming up in your reading. And you got the 4 of Pentacles coming up twice. And here it's called more power. Here it seems, it's also, look at how he holds the coin. It's very interesting. Because you don't hold a coin like that. And it's saying, okay, I'm holding it, but I'm in a wheel, I'm in a spin. It's almost like this is spinning, and it's almost spinning out of control. It's almost like the 4 is a stability, but it's not that stability where you know, okay, now I have arrived on a financial level. You are struggling, you are working. Now here, what's really interesting is you have these 4 pillars, right? And you have here the entrance into this fortress. And the markings are the 4 elements. And inside is the space that is created. And here's the sign of the sun. So you really, really are someone that says, I want to empower myself. And I want to create things. And then you got the 2 of Wands again. The same card is here. This is why I like to work with many decks, because if there is a message, it comes up twice, it comes up 3 times. And it really is letting me know, yeah, that is what's at the core of the energy. And here you are. Look at this, 4 of Pentacles, the Emperor. And then again here the 2 of Wands. And that's rulership. You're ruling, you are in the duality, you want to create, and you have been creating. You have been holding on to the money. And you have got through that a difficult time. Right? This is it's powerful, it's work, it's to rule, it's not easy. People always talk about how dare or how, but get on that space and rule, and you will see how difficult it is to be a good ruler, right? The challenges that come. And here you are, look at you, you have this stability that made you even more powerful, and you are here in this crossing, creating, empowering yourself. And then you moved forward into the Knight of Pentacles. That stability, that money, you worked and said, okay, I'm gonna watch and stand here and look out how everything is growing, how everything that I have invested in is flourishing. And you stand here and you know that the Knight is Virgo, and Virgo is a stability, an organized energy that you need to succeed. You cannot just sit here, but you also need to have that organizational talent to create what you want to create. That's at the core of your reading right now, because the Emperor is someone that rules. The Emperor is someone that says, I am ruling whatever it is, business or a country or family. Then comes Herman Handel, the Three of Cups, the Nine of Stones, and the Eight of Swords. Now you can see there is the Three of Cups, which is enjoying yourself, a liberation in the financial gain, in the overflow of your emotions, in the overflow or stability of financial gains. But still you have these many thoughts that are trapping you, like this tree. The swords don't stick into the tree, but they hold the tree prisoner, right? So you can see there is this energy that's saying, okay, there you got so much, you got everything you need. And then of course you got from the medicine woman, the native Indian tarot deck, right? Aleister Crowley, 1996, Herman Handel, 1985, and this is 1988. This is almost 100 years later from these cards. And here you are, the Taurus energy comes to you and is giving you everything you need, a richness. The earth is forever fertile, is giving you a richness, is giving you power, is giving you exactly what you need to hold this richness, to be the emperor, to be the emperor twice. You hold a really strong richness within you, financial richness that you worked hard on, but you also got challenged by it. I mean, sorry, but this is intense. This is intense. Right? Trapped dreams, reverse, you don't know sometimes, but it's all in your head. It's not really on a physical plane. On a physical plane, you have gained financial success. That's why you have the King of Stones, the King of Richness, the Taurus energy. And you can see how different these cards are in the past, right? The past is really interesting when I pull these cards and see what they tell me about also how the people back then were functioning. And then comes you. So this is the card then. This is now you going into the future. And into the future, so I have a picture at the end. So you see all this. This is your past, right? And here we come and go into the present moment. So in the last reading that you already had the Sun in Aries, right? You had Moon in Scorpio and Sun in Aries. So this is a second reading that you're getting. And it's saying, have fun experimenting and inventing something that has never existed. So the world is waiting for your innovation. And I think you are ready to go and make that, because I can see that you have that willpower, because this is the card that says willpower. The number 20, use your willpower to bravely overcome thoughts of compromise and defeat. Thoughts of compromise and defeat. And of course, these, the same thoughts of compromising and defeat. Reverse, even worse, more intense. And of course you reverse, right, in the card that came out. So it's sheer willpower that makes you realize, I want to get out of these kind of thoughts. I don't want to think like that anymore. I want to move forward, and I want to become a chief, because the interesting thing in the medicine woman, Aries, or the emperor, is the chief, sitting and meditating and smoking his pipe. And so you are invited to shift the way you see the old emperor, in the way you see, look at the color, I mean, it's just yellow and orange, and I'm wearing an orange sweater, and I have these orange tulips. So you are invited to, you have your butterfly, the transformation, you're invited to shift and change things. And you see this rim, this reminds me of the walls of this fortress, right? It's almost like we're getting a look deep within into the courtyard. It's almost like you want to liberate yourself. You do not want to be in such a confined energy anymore. You want to be more free. You want to be different. You want to be like a native Indian. And you have the willpower to make that happen. Then came the Page of Wands and the Tower reversed of the Muse Tarot. And that is letting me know that you have to shift again, because the Page doesn't, I mean, the Muse Tarot doesn't have a negative connotation to the cards. But the Page is a million sparks of ideas, all the enthusiasm at the beginning, brainstorming and planting seeds for new projects and futures, successful starts, the vibrancy of youth, a zest for life, ideation and creativity, exciting possibilities. I mean, it's like, what else do you want, right? And the Tower is saying, and again, I want to go to the native Indian that say it's not there yet for this. The Tower, unexpected change, a massive shift, beliefs shattered, paradigms flipped, on opportunity to rebuild your life in new ways, being flexible, finding shards of light in the chaos. So you have the willpower to change something, but that will also bring this kind of shift. And it's normal, because if I combine the reverse cards, it's almost saying, yeah, you gotta really let go of this. Then you still get this as a result in the present, and you got to really shift the way you have been looking at life. And that really shifted you, that really changed you. And it's good. It's a good thing that these came upside down, because then comes the stingray and the turtle. Here you get spine, here you get connected with the chakras, which are also here in the center of the card. And here you have the turtle, and both of them are water animals, and you are a water sign, and this deep emotions will bring back the power of understanding. You need to connect with your elements, and when you connect with your element, you know, starfish, fish, stingray. The stingray, the words are developing confidence, sense of self, or spine, and is eager and wants to grow, right? So you eager, you want to grow, you want to change things. The way we see the emperor, you don't want that anymore. Turtle, ancient soul, grounded, trusting, and at home in the self. When in balance, peaceful, adventurous, and productive. So you are really shifting into the deep ocean. You letting go, you drop yourself into this chaotic shift and say, I dive deeper, because I got to realize the pain in my heart, the pain that I used to accept, and release it, because this is swords as well. So now you have 9 swords and 8 swords, and again 3. That's 20 swords. 20 thoughts. Having the willpower to bravely overcome thoughts of compromise and defeat. And you are. Is this just the last lingering 3? You came from 9 to 8 to 3. And the journey continues. The journey to look with these childish eyes into such a painful situation. The journey is something we learn to accept the shifts that a journey brings. The journey of love, of adventure, curiosity, and appreciation. Right? So this young girl riding a deer is the sign of adventure, of an adventure that lies in your childhood, that lies in you already knew that you wanted to experience this life always, because you have 2-2 portal, and the 20 is also the 2. It doesn't change just because there's a 0. There's a new beginning. You always wanted the adventure. You always wanted to go out and experience this world. And you are. And you are looking at the last emotional, painful energies that holding you, which is the Three of Swords. Maybe 3 people, 3 children, maybe a relationship. Just look and see that one more time and know that now the future is when you dive deep into the lake, into the depth, into the 31, into knowing what it means to meditate, knowing what it means to be an emperor, knowing what it means to hold this kind of power. Then you dive. You dive emotionally and physically, spiritually, deep down into the lake. And in the lake, you know what you find, even though they're not in the lake, it's in the ocean, in the deep ocean, salt water. But when you dive deep into the lake, then the 3 of Cups is coming again. That remembrance that you know what it means to be celebration and happy and excited and being with people who are like-minded, who enjoy the life that they have created. Even you're an emperor, it doesn't mean that you have to, surround yourself with people that are not good for you. You surround yourself with people that make you feel good. And that feeling is coming back. And then you have the Aquarius that's coming. And Aquarius is the King of Swords. And that energy is helping you to overcome the mental, the 20 swords, the mental push within, and the last 3 that you want to release. He can help you. Maybe it's a friend, it's an Aquarius, because you have Aries here twice, you have a Taurus here, and you have an Aquarius here. So these are the 3 people. And you have a Virgo here, sorry. Right? The Virgo is here as well. So these are the people, the court cards that can define very clearly people in your life. The birthdays are listed down in the description below. Then you become empowered, and this is what an emperor needs. This kind of mental clarity, this kind of mental power to act, right? To act from deep within, knowing what kind of thoughts still come back from the past and influencing now the future, because you then get the hollow bone and the Earthkeeper. You get a 28, which is a 10, and the 18, which is a 9. So you see the hollow bone, the teachability, and these are the newest card from Veloldo, and help you as the shaman's dream to work as an Earthkeeper. Now let's see what the words here are. Teachability, humility, being empty so that the wind of spirit can breathe through you. Wow. And that's what you have to understand as an emperor, as someone that's leading, as someone that has the power. Be humble, be kind, be hollow, so that you can dream more into being, and helped by the Earthkeepers, which is then the 9, which is a completion. Because an Earthkeeper is here to save the earth, which we need desperately. We need people like you. And the invitation is that you have outgrown your small dream of success, even though you have already big success behind you and achievement, and are ready to dream big with possibilities beyond your wildest expectations. Take on the mantle of the Earthkeeper and reach out to a friend in need whom you may not have been in touch with for some time. Take care of your pets and feed the strays that come by. Clean up your yard, as this is a reflection of your relationship to the earth. Grow the sacred dream and your personal life will flourish. Remember, it's not about me any longer. And that's why you have this, and that's why you have an Aquarius, because the Aquarius, the age of Aquarius is coming, or is already beginning, is already here. And that's where we become a leader that is not showing off anymore, a leader that is becoming hollow, a leader where any energy can now come through and bring this to the earth, the shamanic way, the shamanic empowerment, the new chief, a chief that is clearly here for the people. And I just want you to see the Emperor of this deck, because it's so beautiful. When I see this Emperor, I'm like, yeah, that's it. All the other Emperors, no, not anymore. It's finished. And that's why I want you to see this kind of card, because it's really giving you then an understanding that the old days are finished. And you are that. You see this? You see these guys? Do you want to hang out with them? No. You want to hang out with him? Yeah. Right? And that's the willpower. The willpower to shift into this. That's what the reading is telling you, so that you can be an Earthkeeper, so that you can be empowered no matter what happened in the past or even now in the present. Remember this. Remember that you are here for this, because the Sun is going into Taurus, and Taurus is about the money. All right, Taurus is about the money. Oops. Taurus is about the money and is about the money. How do we work with this money? How do we go further and deeper so that we can be here for the earth? Until then, I thank you so much for being with me. Namaste.